Well, tonight's program, you're witnessing it. This is it. So, next up is John N4IHV, who's been kind enough and brave enough to take on the job of Field Day Chairman. And it's been a little bit of a rocky road, but we're almost there. So thanks so much for all the work you've done so far, John.
Thank everybody for coming tonight. If we can have this kind of participation at Field Day, we're going to be in really good shape. So everybody here, come to Field Day, please. It's this weekend. The setup will start at 7:30 on Friday morning, and I think we've already passed around the sign-up sheets. And so if you can be here to help install antennas, that'd be great. And if you don't install them, but you still want to come and learn how we would put antennas up, that would be an asset to you, I can assure you. So try to come Friday morning if you can. And if you participate, you get a ticket. And that ticket can win you a radio. So if you actually operate a radio, you get a ticket. And there will be two different drawings, one for those who operate radios and one for either taking down or putting up antennas. So we're going to give away 2 radios, and it'll be an asset for you to learn and to participate. So we look forward to Field Day, and I know that you'll have a great time if you come out and participate. I'm going to go over a few items about Field Day that we need to discuss, and then what I'd like to do is each one of the captains for the different sections will have a word to say to you. One of the first things I'd like to talk about are generators. As all of you know, we had an issue with the generator that we've used in the past. We had a real nice generator that was a 20 kW that was portable diesel, and this year the water pump went out on the generator, and it kind of threw everything into a quandary. So we asked people if they had small Honda generators, to 2,000, 2,200 K generators, and we had a lot of people that have the small generators said they would actually furnish the generators for us. So if you would, let me know if you have a small generator. I'd like to know who it is, and if you can bring it on Friday, just in case we need it. Now, and the reason I say just in case is I made a call to a company that does all kinds of industrial rentals. The name of the company is Herc. And so I talked to the fellows and told them what we were doing. I said, we're having this field day, and they want to know what it was about. They got all impressed about what we do, and so they said, well, how can we help? And I said, well, we need a generator, and we need a diesel 20K generator. And they said, okay, well, let's see what we can do here. Well, their normal charge for that generator for a weekend, including their fee to bring it, is right at $1,000. And so they said, we're going to give you a deal, $250.
Oh.
So we're getting the generator for $250 plus tax, which is a nominal. And before the conversation was over, he said, oh, well, by the way, will you need a distribution line or anything? I said, well, sure, we could use that. He said, okay, I'll include that. So we're getting, for a very nominal amount of money, a generator. But just in case we have any issues, it's a generator we're not familiar with, and if something happened and we had problems, we don't anticipate that. By the way, this generator will run the entire time, so we won't have to worry about refueling it, and that's another asset. But please let me know if you have a small generator, and we'll have that as a backup just in case. Now, the single-sideband group and the GOTA group have to have a generator, and that I think has already been resolved. But let's make sure that we do have a list of those who have generators. And I want to make sure that we properly thank Herc for doing this. And they said, you know, we want to be a participant in this. We're impressed by what you guys do, so that's good. We have whiteboards set up for each one of the areas. I think Jim brought this one. We'll have some additional ones for the different station locations so that they can put in the operators and the time that they're operating. Those will be furnished. There was a question about tent enclosures. Initially, we had left off some of the enclosures on the tent in case it rained. I think we had one side open, so now we've corrected that. Jim Payne, thanks to him and all his hard work, he took care of that, and now our tents have closure all the way around. If it rains, we can close the tents and not worry about any radios getting wet. There was I think a question about the single-sideband location. The location for single-sideband is currently at the lowest part of the field. They're slightly detached from everyone else. There really is not an access to it. There's a parking lot that is a substantial distance away from it, and you have to walk a pretty good distance to get to it, or you have to, from either one of these parking lots, you have to walk, cannot drive up to it. If that becomes an issue, then we can make a change, but I think at this point in time, it's going to be a lot easier for us to use that. Even though it's remote, I think it'll end up being a safe location. We'll have radio contact within the group with them, and Mark can talk about that in a few minutes. So I think that will work out fine. One thing that we don't have is a safety officer. We had one last year. He is going to be out on something else that's not going to be available. If we have anyone here that would be willing to let us use them as a safety officer, we would appreciate it. Bill Cobb has said that he will do it, but he would like to have some help. So if you're willing to help in that area, just come and see me. We would appreciate it because we do need some additional help on the safety side. It's not a difficult thing to do, so just let me know. We are going to have Ian wants to talk with you briefly about the food prep. Once he does that, then we're going to go through several of the other areas. So I'll turn it over to Ian for a second.
Last time you have to listen to me tonight, I promise. Those of you that are around a long time know this. Those of you that don't, my wife is Lynn N4IHV. She handles all the food logistics for Field Day. That's making sure the guys that show up on Saturday to help set up, and the Boy Scouts that come to take the merit badge have sandwiches and cold cuts for Saturday lunchtime. She organizes the logistics for our picnic, a fabulous, fabulous club picnic, one of our big events of the year, Saturday night at 6 p.m. And she makes sure there's snacks and things throughout the weekend. If you are coming to Field Day this weekend and you intend to attend said picnic Saturday night at 6 p.m., which consists of the club pays for the barbecue that we bring in from Spice Right Barbecue in Roswell, which is some of the best barbecue in the city, I'm convinced. We do hamburgers, we do hot dogs. We ask the club members to please RSVP and bring either a side dish or a dessert. If you have not already RSVP'd, you have 11 and a half hours. You have till 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to send an email to FDFood, Fox Delta Food, all one word, at NFARL.org. Tell us how many people are coming so we have enough barbecue, hamburgers, and hot dogs, and tell us what side dish or dessert you will bring so that we don't end up with 47 containers of potato salad and nothing else. Okay, that's item one. Item two, we have a need for a 6-foot folding table to help us set up and handle the buffet line for the picnic. Or a card table, or like one of these that Steve has set up here on the front. If anybody has a 6-foot table that they would be willing to loan us from setup time Saturday morning through the end of Field Day at 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon, please send an email to fdfood@nfarl.org and let Lynn know that you have a table we can use. And I saw 3 hands go up right away. All 3 of you, please go ahead and tell her, because this is one of those cases where more is better. Any questions? Awesome. Thank you, Jim. John?
Sorry, I answered anything. What I'd like to do now is get some of the people that are helping to set up different facets of the field day to come up and basically go over what they're doing, and if there are any questions about it, so we can clear up any issues that we may have or things we might need to address. Warren is actually handling all the computers, the setups of the radios, and I'd like for him to come up and just briefly discuss that, and then if you've got any questions, you can ask him.
Okay, I'm Warren K4Z. I've done this a couple years now in a row, and we're going to do about the same thing we did the last 3 years with the setup. So we're running 3 alpha, so we'll have 3 primary radios, which will be K3s, and we'll have a slightly different setup than in prior years with the phone station. It'll be out of sight but not out of mind. We're going to push it a little farther down to the south end of the park, hopefully get a little horizontal separation that we need with the antennas. So don't forget about them down there, so you might want to go visit if you're not actually operating. But it's the pathway that goes between the ball field and the soccer field. You just keep on going south, and it's kind of down the hill. Just can't miss it. So we're running N1MM again for the logger, and we'll have that all set up so the radio is connected to the computer. It's pretty easy. If you haven't used it before, you might get on YouTube and check out some videos for some just basic operations. It will be on a network, so you'll see the other stations, what bands they'll be on. In the case of the CW, it's really important so they can communicate if they need to. But it will handle logging for you, but you still have to enter the data. But it'll allow us to track duplicates and see our count, see how we're going all along the event. Well, we're going to have a secondary computer set up so you can actually walk by and take a look at the count, so you don't have to bother anyone asking about how we're doing. We'll have a screen that you can look at that. What else do you need me to bring up?
That's about it.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions about
Yeah,
this.
any questions? Lori, hi.
Do we have the sign-in system ready to go?
Oh, I don't have an answer for that.
Yes, we got the information. It's supposed to be coming to us, so that's what I understand. I don't have it in my possession. So.
Is the Pavel provided system, yeah?
Yes.
Is it going to be the same
Yes,
as before?
yes.
Okay, so we'll have a sign-in that if you haven't been to any of our events before, we would like you to sign in. We need a head count of everyone that comes to Field Day. Whether you're operating or not, we need to have an account. And that's done on a computer that'll be down in the hospitality tent or the pavilion where the food is going to be. It's just going to be a little sign-in where to get your name so we can keep an accurate count. There are reasons for that. So it goes towards our award. So we need to have an accurate count for that and all that. Any other questions?
Why is the sign-in station still remote? It wasn't last year.
Well, what we're trying to do is get the loop away from both the GOTA loop and the beam and dipoles we have on the north side for the CW stations. So we're getting more horizontal distance between the antennas. We're getting a little interference in the radios between the stations when they were on. I don't know, we really actually didn't track what bands, but we had some interference that we think might be related to that, so we're just pushing them a little farther away. We're still within the radius that we need to be. So the antenna will actually be hung up over a field that is kind of out of sight, but it'll be hung up the same way we did it before between the light poles.
The
Yeah,
physical,
Mike?
yeah, physical location of the sideband station itself will only be the length of the soccer field away from the GOTA station. And,
It's in pavilion number 2.
right.
You
Okay.
go all the way down. If you go
Pathway.
to Dobbs Court, It goes down to that other field in there.
Right.
You can see through the maintenance piece where the pavilion's located.
You can actually see the pavilion location from the end of the parking lot as well. So
Right.
Yes.
It's not like it's out of sight.
Right.
It's
It's a
not
little
that
past
far.
where the CW
Yeah.
setup
Okay,
used
yeah.
to be.
That's correct.
Okay.
Are we going to lose any vertical height on the antennas, or are the light poles all at the same elevation?
Won't matter. It's a stateside contest.
I don't have an answer to that, but
Won't matter.
JR does.
It
we'll have the
won't
antenna
matter.
as high as we
30
can.
feet up's all you need. Don't know that we can be much different.
We're cloud warming anyway, so.
Yeah.
Anything else? So yeah, we will have network on that station down there between the other computers, so it will be logged on the same system. So we'll have actually a microwave link between the main tent where the two CW stations are and the satellite station and the pavilion down the hill. So it'll look like you're on the same wired network. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much, Mark. Now, I'd like for Mike Riley to come up and talk about the antennas and the locations, and if he needs any additional help or any questions you have of him. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, John. I'm Mike, N4IHV, and this is my first time setting up antennas in a big group like this, so if anything goes wrong, you can blame me. No, not really. So the setup of the field day is pretty much the same as it's been for the last several years. The only one big difference is the sideband station location, and if you have any familiarity with the park, there is a lower set of fields that have 5 or 6 practice soccer fields on it. And the light poles are the same height as the ones on the upper fields. They're just probably 15 to 20 feet lower elevation-wise on the grade. So there's not a lot of difference. There's a set of stairs that leads down to that lower set of fields, but we should be able to get the elevation with the antennas. The antenna will be a meter loop, just like it was up on the ball field previously, but it'll be moved down to that other field. The GOTA station will also have the 80-meter loop over the soccer field like it has had in the past, and the other antennas will be in the parking lot like they have been in the past. Pretty much in the same location. So we'll have an 80-meter dipole and 2 40-meter dipoles strung around the perimeter of the parking lot, as well as the beam, the 6-meter, and then whatever happens with satellite. So we start at 7:30 a.m. We have some people with some spud guns that are going to help us shoot the antenna lines. We have some people with some high level of expertise to put this stuff together. Chuck, Warren, John. Then we have some people that can run around and do things that they're told to do, me, whoever else wants to volunteer. We have 17 people signed up for Friday. We have 10 people signed up for takedown on Sunday, so we have enough people, but right on the edge. If you want to volunteer some time on Sunday afternoon, that would be greatly appreciated. Anybody got any questions? That's great. Thank you very much.
What we're going to do now is get each one of the captains for the different disciplines to come up and talk about their station and any questions you would have with them. First will be the GOTA station with Terry Joyner.
The GOTA station is probably the most fun station you could operate, because not only you get a chance to operate the entire contest, but you meet so many interesting people that are coming by to operate for the first time, new hams, wannabe hams, people just curious that saw the signs out on the side of the road, want to know what the heck's going on. Mike's already been up here. Jim Payne, N4SCC. Jim is my other partner in crime. We're going to try to keep that station on there the entire time and keep it operating. the entire time. So it's going to be a fun night. If you know of anybody that's ever thought about being involved in ham radio, talk them into coming by and spending some time with us. Yes, sir.
Where's the location going to be this year?
It's going to be the same location, isn't it?
It's actually going to be about 15, 20 feet to the east.
Same location, basically.
Not in the pavilion.
No, not in the pavilion. No.
Not going to be in the pavilion and hopefully won't be in a puddle.
That would be nice. To the playground.
Okay, newsflash, we got pins coming out for everybody. Thanks to Jim QO. Thanks, Jim.
For GOTA.
For GOTA station,
Yeah, if
correct.
you operate or help at GOTA, you get a pin.
It's kind of like working an island, you get a patch. Got you covered. The rigs we're going to be running is going to FT450 and 857D. We're going to have battery power and generator power. Jim, you want to add anything to digital, sideband?
Yeah, we'll be doing FT8 as well. And probably we'll wind up with a separate radio for it, just because of the interconnection in the laptop. So, that's it.
So like I said, it's the most fun station to operate, because like I said, there'll be something going on all the time. Yes, sir.
What's the guidelines for operating? Who can operate the GOTA stations?
Well, one of the three of us should be in at all times, so
It means that
anybody wants to come out and operate.
No.
Anyone who hasn't operated, if he's already got a license and has not operated in a while.
Can't hear you.
Anyone that has not operated, even though you're licensed, can operate GOTA station. If you haven't operated in a while, the contest, go down and run on the GOTA station. If you are a new license or non-licensed, you can operate GOTA station. What they really don't want is someone who has run in all kinds of contests and participated in every possible direction on ham radio to be down on the GOTA station. It's really for new people or people who have been out of the system for a while.
And how many contacts can a operator make before the points don't count anymore?
Total of 500. It's 500 contacts, I believe, is the limit.
I thought there was a per person limit also.
You know, I don't know if there's one.
No, there's not.
Not per person.
There's
See how much I know.
no limit per person, but if a person, not a combination of people, makes 20, the points are doubled.
There you go.
And if there's a mentor with them, the points are doubled again. So if you came, if you're qualified, you're a new ham first year, or you're not licensed. I was telling Brenda, is it Brenda? I said her husband can't come, but I told her to come anyway.
That's right.
If she makes 20 points and somebody's watching her, mentoring, yes?
Like what Jim, what Greg here meant.
Yes. Anybody can be a mentor. Any of us can be a mentor. You're sitting there helping the person, answering questions. The points are doubled again. So if you make 20 contacts, you can end up with 80 points for the club. And you can do it again. If you make 40, that's another block. So it works in blocks of 20. You do not have to be licensed. You can be a new ham, never been to field day before, or you can be a ham that has not been on HF for 3 years, including field day. If you've not operated HF for 3 years, then you're considered an inactive HF operator. So all of you CW people that have not been on the air for 3 years, come out and make a lot of contacts, okay? So that's kind of the way it works. It's a complicated record system, but last year, Kobe, how many did you make, Kobe? How many do you think?
Probably about 300.
300 by himself. We're looking to see he's not qualified, he's not allowed, doesn't meet the qualification. We're looking for another Kobe. You could be that person. Yes.
We had a young man, a father and son team. The son is a couple years older than Kobe. At the VE session a week and a half ago,
Here's the father.
Oh. Greg and his son.
Yeah.
Yes.
Griffin
And-
can't
and-
come, unfortunately.
Oh, he's gonna be in Ohio.
Yeah.
Never mind.
If you can.
Forget what I just said.
I'm bringing my girlfriend, we'll put her to work.
That's
That's even better because you don't get a lot of women on the air.
And we cannot stress enough, because last year, by Kobe and all the others making over 500 contacts, first time we've ever done it, the GOTA station generated over 1,000 points for the club. Now, we only got 14,000, so 1,000 points or more, I don't remember what it was, but it was a lot. So you can help the club. I'm telling you, you can help the club. Now think though, don't all come at 2 p.m. and say, I'm ready to operate. Well, yeah, everybody's there. We need you at 10 p.m., 12 p.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., all
Well, you
those
gotta
kind of
have-
things,
you need
okay?
a
But this is very important, because it's very big contribution to the club.
Important thing is a learning experience for everybody, so.
So each of the operators, if they, say I'm a new operator and I come in and I work 20 contacts, do I get that special pin again this year?
You get it for one.
No, you're talking about.
The new pin, we're doing the new pin. You make one contact, you get a pin, button.
Okay, they're calling the clock on this, Jim. Thank you a lot for your help.
All right, guys, we can only go to 5 after, so we're running out of time. So what, get Mark Coleman real quick on the single sideband. Remember, guys, make it quick, because we have virtually no time.
My name is Mark Coleman, KJ41M, and I'm head of the sideband station this year. As we said, the sideband station has moved from previous years down to the lower field. This is pavilion number 2. The antennas are going to be in the lower part down there. Mike had mentioned that already. I have a schedule, and believe it or not, I've got every slot filled with at least one operator. Now, if you are not familiar, if you want somebody to lock for you, you're by yourself, please let me know. I've got one already on here, and I've got to try to get a locker for them. But a lot of people don't like to operate by themselves with a headphone and can do it that way. I think I got everything at the radios, everything. It's going to be a nice looking show and tell there. We're going to have a VGA monitor, and it's going to show the band and the waterfall stuff on there. So it's going to look really good. And I really do appreciate everybody to sign up. And if you just want to come out and operate, come on. We'll put you in the slot and do something. You can do something for us and get some extra points. Anything else? Any questions? Thanks.
Okay, now we're going to do the CW station, it's Don Deal, and you only have a few minutes to.
This will be really quick. So we do have a schedule. We've got a lot of fine operators. I don't know what Jim's talking about, CW people who run on the air for 3 years. That's crazy. But I will be sending out a copy of the schedule to everybody probably the next day or two. But we've pretty much got all but one slot kind of taken care of, so you may be contacted. I've been working with Jim Stafford on the CW station, Wes on the swing station. So all of us are going to be reaching out to a few people just to confirm the times. Any questions? So I know we're short for time. Any questions from anybody? With that?
And now the swing station, Wes Leonard.
Did you get on the schedule?
Anyway, the swing station has the capability of operating phone, CW, and FTA, which is the digital mode that's become so popular. Primarily, it'll be CW because CW gets 2 points. FT8 may become a big player this year because of the propagation. And propagation is so bad that 10, 15 meters may not be open at all, but it'll be open for FT8 because of this very small signal capability that FT8 has. So we're looking forward to giving that mode a try. The word out on the drums on the internet is it's going to be big. So we're looking forward to really trying this out with FT8 and for a good score. I think we're going to beat the CW station that's all CW. I'm throwing a gauntlet down there. You got a question, sir?
Was that your joke?
Yeah, it is. It's faster though than some of the CW operators.
who's handling the 6-meter station, he was unable to be here tonight, but we'll have the 6-meter station as well. Satellite by Darrell Young, and anything you want to say about the satellite station?
Well, it's a lot of work to put the satellite station up, and we don't make any points. We make 1 point per QSO unless you manage to get a digital contact in there, which we might try to do. We get 100 points for the first satellite contact. We could do that with a handheld arrow and HT. You know? So the whole reason for the whole setup is the demonstration of it. So it's a lot of fun to do. Come by the satellite station and we'll let you operate and have some fun. You've never done it, you'll have a great time. Jim, you never operated a satellite?
That, in the 70s, but anyway. Will you have some kind of whiteboard or something to show the passes or anything, or could you do that? I mean, every time I come by the tent, you know, I always wonder when's the next pass. I wonder if that will be something you.
We're considering, now that we're back to a big generator, we're talking about putting up a big monitor that's going to show all the satellites where they are and what's coming up. But we can also use a whiteboard to show you some other passes that may not be shown on that screen. So, yep, great idea. We'll follow through on that. Anything? Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. I think we're going to have a great field day. Thanks for all the participation, and please try to come. I think you'll really enjoy it, and thank you for your time and listening to all of us. So I'll turn it over to you.
Norris, thank you for picnic.